1st of December, it's absolutely freezing cold, and here we are, we're on Brasenose 2 at Linear Fisheries. Now the complex is still running as days only, so I travelled up early this morning, had a bit of a sleep on the gate, making sure that I was the first person here, meaning that I got first choice to swim. And lo and behold, I'm in a rather good swim on Brasenose 2, and as I've already said, it's only going to be a day session, so I managed to prep quite a bit of kit before I come last night to maximise my time on the bank. So without further ado, I'm going to get the rigs on the rods, a little bit of bait out there, and fingers crossed, hopefully get a couple of bites. That's the 3 rods out. Before I come this morning, I'd balanced 3 rigs out ready to rock and roll. As I said, you haven't got a lot of time on a winter's day session, so you want to make the most of it. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. Just seen a fish show out there. These 3 are out there, absolutely bang on the money. I'm going to knock a bit of bait up now, and fingers crossed, it all goes to plan, and one of them rips off. Well, the rods are out, the bait's over the top. It took a few chucks with the rods, bit of a crosswind. But what I will say, what's important, especially when you're fishing a day session, is make sure everything is absolutely bang on every single time. Time is obviously limited. You haven't got tonight to think I'll redo them tonight. You've literally just got the day, and we haven't got a lot of daylight hours as it is. So making the most of it, getting everything bang on is definitely key. The peg that I've actually chosen is the point swim on Brasenose 2, which is a very, very popular swim. Prolific swim, holds fish out in front of here sort of all year round, and there's some quite prominent features out there. And a day like today, it's clear, it's cold, but the sun's out, and even though it's freezing cold, the bar that I'm fishing was bar road type thing that's out there, 24 rod lengths that I'm fishing to, 7-8 foot of just pure gravel. Now that's going to be reflecting the sun, it's going to be warming it up nice and, you know, nice and quick in the day. And hopefully the fish are ghosting around over the top of it. But like I say, I've got 3 rods, absolutely bang on, 10 spoms of bait over the top. I've not gone mad with the bait, and I'm literally just sitting back down now, and I'm going to tie a few rigs. I'm just going to try a couple of D rigs with some maggots on top. So just in case the baits that I've got on, plastic corn and the little 12mm manila yellow, doesn't go, I can swap over, and maybe they'd rather a natural hook bait rather than a plastic or a normal pop-up. But yeah, we shall see. But the sun's out, rods are out, fingers crossed. It's just gone 10:30. Nothing's happened over the bait, but I've noticed in the last sort of 10 minutes a couple of fish are shown to me left. So 2 rods still left on the bait. I'm going to wind one in, well, wound one in. I'm just going to put a little maggot D-rig on this, little PVA bag of maggots, and I'm just going to flick it down to where the fish are showing, because it might be that where there's one, there might be quite a few more. Well, I've redone my left hand rod and I've moved it onto where I've seen fish show. But I'm absolutely adamant that persevering with this bait is going to work. And even though these have only been out there a couple of hours, I'm going to bring them back in, and I'm going to change from plastics and pop-ups, and I'm going to put on little bunches of maggots, just something natural, just to see if a natural approach over the top of the mix is all that it will take to get a bite. It's absolutely freezing cold, stood at the front of the peg, but when you're in the sun, it's quite nice and warm. So out there's quite a lot of heat being generated. So I'm hoping that this is going to spur the fish on to have a little bit of a feed. But yeah, what else can I do? I'm going to have a go. Well, would you believe it? Literally a 𝗃𝗏𝗏 switching over to a D-rig. Well, I was on D-rigs anyway, but switching over to a maggot hook bait, critically balanced, 4 more bombs over the top, bang on, and just had a really slow take on the left-hand rod on the bait. And it just shows that even though you are, or I am only here for a day session and it is only a short session, you know, if you've got everything prepared and you're ready to go, don't be afraid to change and you know, and certainly make a change, because the fish, certainly in a place like Brasenose, there's a lot of carp in here. They're always around about the area, and sometimes a tiny little change can bring a bite, and this has proved that. So I'm going to focus on this because it'd be very nice to get one in, because it's freezing cold and not the best of conditions. And I caught my other rod. All right, he's getting in close now. He's coming in very close now. And I'll tell you what, that is a good fish. In fact, that is a very good fish. Whew. Good fish. I'm not tempting fate, Joe, but I reckon that could just be upper 30, maybe bigger. It's a very big carp. That is a very big carp, to be fair. Look at the size of him, look. Here we go. I've had to call in the assistance of a distance stick. I'm not sure Jesus Christ, that is a lot bigger than I thought. Excuse the double chin. 46 pounds, 5 ounces. Yes! Oh my God, that is massive. Check that out. How your day can turn around. The most part of the day's gone now. It's gone past 12 o'clock. Nothing had happened. A 𝗃𝗏𝗏, 10 minutes later, a slow drop back on the middle rod. I honestly don't know what to say. A new lake record, 46 pounds and 5 ounces. It just goes to show that even on a day session, when you think it might not be worth the effort, it literally only takes one bite. Unreal. There we go, there's the other side. What an absolutely magnificent beast. Honestly, I don't know what to say. You couldn't write it. Absolutely incredible. It's killing my wrists. Here he goes. Back. Hopefully to make someone else happy. Look at the size of that thing. Off you go. Yes! So the rig that I made the change to is actually a rig that last time I was out I filmed with 𝗃𝗶𝗴𝗆cie, and I believe that the link to that video is in the description below. Only a subtle change, exactly the same rig in terms of the materials, hook that I was using, Illusion D-rig, straight down to a size 4 hook. The only thing that I changed over was the hook bait. Now before, this morning when I first started the session, I was using bits of plastic corn and little whittled down pop-ups. But nothing had transpired on that. So I thought, you know what, make a little change. And like I say, it always pays to make a change, even on these short day sessions like we're on here today. And a simple change, small piece of red foam, 6 to 8 white maggots over the top, brought the rods in off the spot, re-clipped them, back, bang on the money. And yeah, lo and behold, the only bite, well, that I've had so far, and it's looking likely that it's probably going to be the only bite of the day. The sun's just dipping behind the trees now. Yeah, the only bite that I've had all day, come to that change, and then lo and behold, yeah, a lake record, 46 pounds and 5 ounces. So it just goes to show that putting the effort in, getting up early in the morning, going out on them day sessions, when you think it isn't going to happen, it literally only takes one bite, and it's proved that today. Now that bite may have only been a 15 pounder, but still to me, you know, the size isn't irrelevant, you know, but to catch a fish of that size is absolutely phenomenal. But when you get a bite of any size this time of year, the effort that you've had to put in, you know, it could have easily been a smaller fish that picked that rig up. But that one bite has made the day. And yeah, what can I say? Can't say no more than that. What an absolutely phenomenal carp. But yeah, small changes make big differences. The sun's rapidly falling now behind the trees, and yeah, it's got rather cold. On the fishing front, only the one fish to show, but what a carp it was, 46 pounds and 5 ounces. And you know, it just goes to show that by ringing them small changes, it can certainly put them extra fish on the bank. And I think that's all that's left to do now is for me to wind them rods in, chuck them in the van, swing around the McDonald's drive-through and head home.